All right, so the garbage statement. First of all, before I even get started, is that a convention? Not really. You don't have to have an agreement with your partner. Although, towards the end of this, I'll speak about a caveat. With awesome power comes awesome responsibility. Not so much responsibility, but this is a bid where you're doing hand evaluation after your partner opens one no trump, whether you think that it's worth bailing into a suit contract or playing a no trump when you do not have enough values to invite or force game. Now, normally we would just say pass when we have less than 6 points when we're having a one of a suit open. And if it's one no trump, then we know that if partner is 15 to 17, if 17 is the highest and we don't have eight, we can't get to 25. No reason to invite, so we just normally pass. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And it looks like we got one more here coming in. Greetings, Ron. Good to have you there. And oh, John is here also. Welcome, guys. And so nice to have you all with us today. So, as I was saying, the no Trump opening bid is 15 to 17. It used to be it was 16 to 18, and they changed it to 15 to 17, thinking, well, it comes up, I think, about 11 or 12% more percent of the time. And that is a good reason because you want it to bid more because it has several things what it does for it. One is that it has where you can make it where it obstructs the opponents because all the one level bids are off. And you don't really want to get in front of the one no trump train that's coming through with a lot of strength, one third of the points in the whole deck, right? If you've got 17. So it's obstructive and it's also very descriptive, and you let your partner go ahead and control the auction from there. So it has a lot of advantages. I think 15 to 17 is a good range. But, what about these things when you've got an imbalanced hand as the responder? Then you don't want to probably play in no trump. And that's where Oswald Jacoby said, well, actually, Sam Stayman came, and it was actually before him, George Rapie, or some others. I guess Pottage takes credit for it also. But whoever gets credit for it is that it was where George Rapie told Sam Stayman, it's like we'd be better to play in one no trump if we can find a 4-4 of a major fit. So let's use the two club bid. And Sam Stayman says, yeah, let's do that. I'll call it the Rapie bid. And he said, no, you go ahead, Sam, you take credit for it. And then after that, Oswald Jacoby, and with the 5 of a major where the Jacoby transfers came in. So all that's well and good, but you have these situations where you do not have enough points to make a responder bid, but you don't want to see your partner get clobbered if you've got 1 or 2 points and your partner has maybe 16 on average. And that's what we're going to talk about, a certain situation. And that is where it goes one no trump, 2 clubs, and you pass. And it's like everybody's like, what was that? That was Stayman. You were supposed to be getting ready to do an invite or a forcing bid, but why did you pass? That's the scenario. So first off, it works best when this partnership has less than 20 points. If you have 20 points or more, you might be just as well to play in one no trump. Think about it. How many points does it take to make 7 tricks? Maybe just a little bit more than half the points in the deck. So at some point, you have to question whether it is good. Now, you'll probably make your one no trump contract. You might be making a 2 diamonds, which wouldn't be as good because rather than 40 points for the first trick, you only get 20. And then if your part's poor, you get a 50-point bonus if you're playing in duplicate or Chicago style bridge scoring. Okay, well, let's see about a little bit more. So the opener, 15 to 17 high card points, we'll talk about here today. The responder, I'd say when you've got 0 to 4 points, it's a good time. If you think it works with 5 points, that's probably okay. But you need to have 0 or 1 club to use this method because you're going to be bidding Stayman 2 clubs, and whatever your partner bids, you're going to pass. So you wouldn't want to do it with 2. You have a balanced hand if you have 2. You obviously don't have a 5-card major, or you would use the Jacoby transfer, wouldn't you? So there you go. Okay, what next? Well, the likelihood that you're going to make that one no trump contract is as follows. First, we could have 0 to 3 high card points. And we've only got a 7% chance we're going to make it if we're playing in one no trump. Remember now, I saying I have like 0 or 1 clubs in this. So I've run a lot of simulations to simulate this scenario. 15 to 17 points, balanced hand for partner, and I have 0 to 3 points and only, let's say, 1 club. Okay, and next is that if I have 4 points, then it goes up now. We're still not going to make it half of the time. It's 36% chance. So we're going to be much better off playing in two diamonds, two hearts, or two spades. And if I have five now, it gets to be almost 50-50. It's 45% chance that we'll make it in one no trump. This is where you have 15 to 17, 16 on average, let's say. And when it's more than that, then it goes up to with six high card points, 64% chance you can just make it, even though I've got a singleton club. And I like the rule of anticipation. I don't know if any of you know what the rule of anticipation was. It's the pessimist scenario, but it's often true. And that is where I have zero or one. I think my partner probably has four or five, and hopefully not six. I'm going to talk about that later. So, okay, there's some of the reasons why it might be good, why you don't want to pass in one no trump, one partner, when you have a singleton or a void and you have less than five high card points. Okay, more to that. I think you need to also talk about the environmental factors. I should start doing this maybe once a week so we really understand it because, I'm a gray matter kind of guy, not just my age, but also by the fact is that sometimes I say it depends. And I know it can be maddening because people want absolutes, but there are a lot of things to consider. I like to call them the environmental factors. If you go to BridgeHands and search for environmental factors, you'll see these. First off, the hand evaluation. Do you have mostly primary or secondary honors? As I spoke the other day, if you have mostly secondary honors, you might be better in no trump. If you have a five-card suit and a lot of aces and kings, you're probably going to be better playing in a suit contract, looking for roughing or promotion. Okay, next is going to be where's the vulnerability. And yeah, I suppose if you're vulnerable and they're not, if you go down, it's going to cost you more for each trick. On the other hand, I suppose if they're not vulnerable, they may, because if I've only got one and you've got 16, they've got 27, they're more likely to probably want to come into the auction. But they may not. They may just think, well, we'll just set them several. So consider your vulnerability and also what is the initial seat that the bid is being made. Not so much in when my partner opens no trump, although we can talk about that in a moment. It's normally if we're in the third or fourth seat, our partner's pass. And if you want to be a little bit more risky, if you say, I'm going to open it with a good 14 points and a five cards diamonds, that's probably okay. Or the fourth seat, you're not like going to be really preempting anybody, but it might be that if you bid one no trump in the fourth seat, nobody's going to want to come in here again. Another thing on that we should think about is that when you're in the fourth seat is that how might the auction likely to go. I played with people where I have a different one no trump range in fourth seat. It's like say, okay, I'm going to make it like 12 to 14 points. And you have to adjust values accordingly. It gets a little bit more interesting. And so let's go ahead and take a look at some more. The relative seat, the relatives. Is this about relatives? This is about relative seat. The relative seat to where other people are bidding out there. So is it, in other words, is it the direct seat or the pass out seat? If you're in the pass out seat, remember that borrow that virtual king from partner, and you can take a little bit more liberties. Also, if your partner is a pass hand, that was we talked about the third or fourth seat, that would have something. But it could be not just the opening bids, it could be also as the auction goes. Okay, how about some more? Well, another one would be the psychological aspects. Oh my goodness, I could make pages of the psychological aspects, but let's take a look at some. The cumulative score would be in effect. So in other words, if we're playing in a tournament, we're going to have a 70% chance game and everybody else is 60% or more, we're just going to want to keep the ball in the middle of the fairway, just bump it along, ice the puck, just kind of don't do any draconian things at this time. And if you're playing in like a knockout game and you're quite a ways behind, you are probably going to do the opposite. You're going to say, I have to stretch for that slam or for the game bonus. So, okay, the partnership trust. Is this a big one? So, yeah, if it's like where, oh, my partner made some weird bid the last hand, or it's like, I'm never really sure on some of their bids. It's like, this will affect your environmental factors. When I play with people online that are overbidders, do I compliment by being an underbidder? I have to kind of think about that some if they're a busy bidder. So that's something to think about. The discipline and reliability. I had, in fact, one partner, a very good player, and an opponent asked him, well, what does this bid? And he says, well, it tends to be where we have this, but my partner doesn't always make systemic bids. And I think, what, me? I sometimes do. It depends a little bit too. And I don't know if you've heard of the Don Oakey rule. He used to be the ACBL president, I guess, and I think also was a great on the laws and when it came to being director type things. And so the ACBL had a back in the 60s, I think it was, the idea as long as it's within a queen of strength, 2 points, or within one card of length, you can make some judgment decisions, some gray matter, some of these environmental factors. How reliable should it be? If you do more than two or more than one card that you're going, then it's considered a psych bid. So you don't normally like to psych. All right, keep going on. Memory is it, do you have good long or short term memory in terms of your partnership agreements, carding, all these other things, conventions, and the like? And the stock market mentality, of course, fear and greed are the two things that drive people, but there is anchoring. Well, we didn't do well on the last hand, so therefore the cards will be much better for us this hand. No, there's no dependencies from one hand to another. It's just the emotional thing. And if you can see that your opponents are doing that, you might be able to use that to your advantage when they are using emotions rather than logic. And of course, the catch up or the Hail Mary syndrome, as I spoke about earlier, is like you're behind in a knockout game. And so I've got to throw that long bomb and see if they catch it and hope that it doesn't get an interception. And then you just go down even more points. Okay, so besides those environmental factors in terms of the psychological side, the knowledge and complexity, some auctions might be where, if you're using exclusion Blackwood, if you've heard of that one, is it just straight exclusion Blackwood? Or are we playing 1430? Even pros have made that mistake. Saying, well, I thought we were playing 1430 style of exclusion backward. No, I thought we were just playing regular. Same with if you're playing Gerber, where you're using, a convention where it shows the key cards is that what happens after the 1 or 4 and the 3 or 0? Is it 2 with a minimum and then 2 with a maximum? Or, some of the bids and rebids and re-rebids get a little bit more complicated. And of course, when the opponents come in, then that's something to consider also. The knowledge of the law is always helpful because some people like to play bridge. Some people like to say parlor trick. Some people like to, I'll beat you by the laws. So if you don't know the laws, it may not be able to be where you can play as effective a game as like, when do I ask about an opponent's convention? I won't get into that today. Common sense and good judgment is always helpful. We think we all have it and nobody else does. And the suit agreements, do we have fits, misfits, or the LOTT, the law of total tricks, where we have a big fit, more than 8 cards fit in a suit, then we have some extra impunity to go to higher levels. Okay, so next, but beware of the masterminding partner. And that is, when is it okay to open one no trump with a 6-card minor, 6 clubs or 6 diamonds? Well, let's see if we got some answers there. I'll kind of keep on moving, but give me some of your answers on when you think it might be best. And I'm going to say the answer is never. So that's a little tip. Never. Unless you like to play with new partners all the time. And I did have one guy, he was at a pro level, but he didn't play against other pros because he only played with people that were not quite his skill level because, it was just, what I mean. But at any rate, is that, he would do this sometimes. I would have a passed hand and the opponents would be in 2, and then he'd come in 3 because he's got a 6-card minor. And he every time had a bad result. And of course, him being better than me, I couldn't say anything right. But you get the point. You want to be, okay, we got one coming in. Is that about the muffled sound? I don't know if I can do anything about that, David. I guess you'll have to, I'll get this microphone as close as I can. But I'm sorry if it's muffed. And so hopefully this is going to get a little better. Let me know if it's not. And we'll take a look at the audio and video in post-production and see just how it is. But thank you for that comment. Okay, I will be speaking distinctly. Here we go. So, at any rate, if you have 15 to 17 points and a 6-3-2-2 shape, you wouldn't do it with a singleton somewhere, God forbid, then here's what you do. You open one club if it's clubs, and then your partner does one something, and then you rebid 3 clubs. You got 6 of them. You got half the cards in the deck in that suit. Ostensibly, you've got some honors. Just go ahead and rebid 3 clubs. Problem solved. And if it have CB where you have 17 points and a good suit, well, that sounds like you get 1 for distribution to me. Sounds like 18. And I would say 1 club, 1 something by you, 2 no trump, which is always showing 18 or a good 17. Even if he goes one no trump by you, it's not where I do it with 14, 15, or 16. It better be a good 17 or 18. And a lot of people, they have problems with that one. Any rate, okay. Let's see. Anything? David's better. Good. Thank you, David. Appreciate that. And Petty says better. So I'm going to try to keep, like the people that are on the talk shows, you get this like really right up close, man, or a singer. And that's Patty out there for all of you. But okay, so I think that's probably about it. Yes, it is. And that means it is showtime. And let's see how my new navigation works. I should be able to go there and here. And if you want to dial in, somebody wants to be my partner, you can call in on that number, 563-999-2185. I think I'm going to put it on this phone here too, since I had an echo on the other one. So let's see if I can get that a roll and give me about 15 seconds. Hi, I'm Michael. And I think I already have it logged in as a host on another line. So I'm just going to turn down the volume on this one. Okay, and so off we go. So if somebody wants to come on in, I'll hopefully hear a cling when you come on in. It'd be nice if I could have somebody join me, but if not, I'll just go ahead and just keep trucking on. So here we go. And what we're going to be doing is some more of these simulations. That goes away. Okay, so as we did with Patty the other day, and I've done with some others here, is that we're going to take a look at some sample hands here. And I have 50. Oh, we got something coming in there. And John Shribs says, if I can get there we go. It should be coming up. Suspect one no trump, much better with 15 plus 6 high card points for the responder, I think is what he means. Yeah, it would be, but then you might be, like you say, better in one no trump than it would be for 2 of, might be a minor. You might have the diamonds, but you might have a 4-4, and whether or not you would have an extra trick one way or another is the big question. Now, here's one thing I didn't mention, and you're going to see abundantly clear on this first hand. Well, just think about it. Opener is balanced. Responder has 0 or 1 clubs. What does that mean? Think about it a second. Maybe. Yeah, maybe not. So, no, what that means is that there's probably going to be some distribution in the other suits, isn't it? Well, let's take a look at some hands. So I've got 50 hands. This will be where the responder has 0 to 4 points. If somebody jumps in, you can bid them with me. If not, though, that's okay. So we're going to take a look at this first hand, and I think you can see it there, and it's a 4-4-4-1, of course. Although it could be a void in clubs. I let those enter in here also, but we can see we have 4 points like that 10 of hearts. So, yeah, and we've got 4-4 in the majors every time. That's the way it's going to be. That is the hands we're talking about when we're doing a garbage Stayman or considering a garbage Stayman bid. Okay, so the points. Well, in South, we've got 7 and another 6. And that might be worth 2 and maybe 1. It looks like a pinochle hands. I've stopped playing that 40 years ago. A queen of spades and a jack of diamonds. Anyway, we have enough to open 1 no trump. And look over here in the west hand. That's what I was saying. Oftentimes, or the east hand. You're going to probably have some pretty distributional hands. And if so, you don't have to do each garbage Stayman because probably the opponents are going to be more than happy to come in the auction because you've got, remember, 0 to 4 points. So that's one of the things that will let you off the hook. So even though you as responder are looking at your hand and you say, uh-oh, this is one of those that I'm going to bid a garbage Stayman, I'm going to pass whatever my partner is, you may not get a chance. And I think in this hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 of them there in clubs. And this over here is got a 6 bagger, 4 and 2, and a 6, 4, 2, 1. So this is the thing you're going to probably see on some of these hands, but I hope that helps. And like I've said, is sometimes you just deal some of these hands out. You'll open new neural networks. You're not thinking about just the responder hand. You'll be thinking, oh, look at this phenomena, what's going on around the table. So what we're going to do is we're going to just be popping through some of these hands, and we can see that if they were both passing, we wouldn't be doing so good in one no trump. But if we could be in, let's see, I guess the diamond suit. Oh, we got a 9-card diamond suit. Hey, that would be very sweet. And yes,
Hi.
coming in.
Yeah, we just want to get some clarification again on the call-in number.
563-999-2185.
Thank you, Patty.
Okay. So I'll just go ahead and keep going. If somebody is on the line, just chime on in. I'll know you're there. Okay. Oh, here's somebody. Let me go ahead and turn up the volume a little bit. Who's with us? Uh-oh. I'm going to have to just get it on the phone here. I'm going to have to relay your messages because I can see that I'm having a little bit of an echo problem if I turn up the volume. So let's see if I can just get it this way. I'm going to go to the iPhone. I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way. And who is this here? Yes. What's your name? Sandra. Hi, Sandra. Hi. So, okay, well, we're going to take a look at some of these hands that are over in the north side. That'll be your hand, and I'll just kind of go through several hands here. So this is hand number 1. It says 0 to 4, garbage Stayman on number 1. And here's going to be number 2. Okay, I have a balanced hand, and you have only 3 points this time, don't you? So if you were to do a garbage Stayman, I in the south will bid 2 hearts, and you would do what? Yes, exactly, Sandra. Exactly. Pass. So we'd be happy campers. We've got an 8-card fit. That's kind of what we really wanted. In one no trump, they're going to be working us over on every suit except for the hearts. You can see that none of them look very happy suits to us. So if we were playing in one no trump, I see that we can get 2 club tricks. I'm going to go ahead and make some markings here. 2 clubs, eventually 1 diamond. If they break the suit, we may get 2, but I don't think they're going to do that. We're going to get maybe 2 hearts and no spades. And if they promote before we start doing our thing, we are going to have a hard time making our contract. So are you okay on that one to make that 2 club bid and see if we can find the heart fit there, Sandra? It is scary, yeah. The thing is this, is that, and I'm going to tell everybody this, this is one thing that's a no-no, is that when your partner bids 2 clubs and the opponents start bidding back and forth, don't come in at the 3 level with your 5-card club or diamond suit. Do not do that. Your partner isn't necessarily 100% guaranteeing that they have 7 or 8 points or more. So don't try to be a hero. It might be that a person has the garbage statement. It only probably happens once every month or so, but something to consider. So yeah, no masterminding, please. Okay, Sandra, we're going to look at the next one here, and this is hand number 3. And how do you like your hand this time, Sandra? It's not nice, she says. Yeah, we do like that you have the ace of hearts, though. Okay, so let's say I do 1 no trump, and you do 2 clubs, and you're just not so sure where this is going. And I bid 2 diamonds because I have the diamonds, and I could bid that, or I could do 2 spades. And so I'm going to say, oh, well, I'm going to bid a major always. So I'm going to do 2 spades and forget that 2 diamonds. And you're like, hey, we've got an 8-card fit again, don't we? So taking a look at it once again, if we were in no trump, I guess I don't know if they're going to take the first 5 club tricks depending upon the lead, but they would get that and the ace of spades, and I'm guessing they would get a king behind the ace of hearts. Whereas if we were in spades, is we could actually get up to two spades. Don't play the ace of hearts and then a second heart. So when we're playing the heart suit, we want to, when we get to the north hand, we want to do a low to the queen. And if the king is on side, then we're going to get definitely two tricks there. And then when it comes to the spade suit, we're going to try if we can get to the north enough. And how do we get to the north hand more than once? Well, we rough the clubs over in that hand. And when we get over here to the spades, we try a repeated finesse in the spades. And sure enough, that works too. So I think everything's looking like it works pretty good to me. But Sandra, am I missing something, or what's your thoughts on this? Are you happy? You're just a happy camper. Good. Well, okay, so far so good. But the other day when Patty and I did this, Patty, we had some things that were like, oh gosh, we do go down sometimes. So if we do, it's there's no guarantees in this game. Here, I've got a nice flat hand, and let's see, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15, and maybe, that jack second. No, I'm not going to count that as a point, not even jack third. So, but yeah, I have enough to open one, no trump. And I don't know. Some people over in the West seat will say, oh, I've got a convention for showing my spades and my clubs. I wouldn't recommend it unless you are, yes, Grace.
You put that up?
Please do. And John's comment, odds are very good to find a 4-4 fit. In fact, they're 100% in one of the three suits. It's over 100%. Now, you figure is that you're either going to have a fit in diamonds, because your partner who is doing the garbage Stayman, if they're having a singleton or a void, you have to have at least a 4-4 in diamonds. But if the opener has in either of the majors, then you have a fit there. You might have double fit. So yeah, that's a good point, John. So it's 100% you're gonna have an 8-card fit. You'd like it to be an 8-card fit in the major, of course. Okay, Sandra, we're gonna go to the next hand, and oh boy, there's never many points there. There's only the Queen of Hearts. And so my hand in the south is looking pretty balanced. So I do one no trump, and you do two clubs with your pitiful 2 points. Not your fault. Everybody else is going to be doing the same thing if they know the garbage Stayman. And I will say, well, I'm going to bid two hearts. And as John says, there's 100% guarantee that we'll have at least one fit, and hopefully it's in a major. So not the best suit, but they've got an ace-king tight over in the east hand. So that's not going to get them but just two tricks. And we're going to be able to get, for sure, two tricks in hearts, and in spades. Yeah, the finesse will work if we do it right. If we go low to the jack and then do the king, or if not, we've got some spades there to come back to. And in clubs, not so happy over there, because look at the clubs behind us. But hey, we're not playing in the club suit, so fine. And in diamonds, we're going to have two there. So yeah, it's the best we can do. It's not so hot when you've got like, let's see, 7, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 with a king jack tight versus 3. So, if we maybe go down one, I'm not going to complain. I mean, I take a look at their hand and I think, well, they've got some fits in the black suits. So there we go. Anyway, so let's try another one or two. And I'll tell you what, let's just kind of pop through one and see if we can find one that's got a void. There's a singleton 5, another 5. There's a singleton 6, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 2. I don't. Oh, there's a void. Okay, we got one with a void. Good. That's what I was looking for. So they come up, several times. We got to hand number 16 before we saw a void. I don't know if that's about the right number. We could do some calculations, but with a void, everyone else is going to probably be more distributional. And let's take a look at the distribution of the other hand. So over in the east hand, it's a 6, 3, 3, 1. And I'm a 5, 3, 3, 2. And over here is the flattest hand. Somebody's honest here. It's a 4, 4, 3, 2, the hand that comes up most often in bridge. So I guess the first question, going back to yesterday's lesson, should I be opening one spade or one no trump with this hand? And let's kind of explore it a little bit. As I've told you, when it comes to having an ace jack tight, I don't like to count it as 5 points because I can't do a finesse except for that very rare time when the queen is on side and my partner has king third. And you can see this time it's only going to get one trick. So, okay, I'm counting that as 4 points. That's just the way I do unless my partner has bid the suit. Okay, next 6 points in diamonds and in spades, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 1. So 8 and 6. Okay, that's 14. Wait a second, that's not right. Oh, okay, so the one distribution, yeah. So it's a pretty good hand. I don't know if I want to play in one spade or to open or one no trump. I'm curious to what everybody else has to say. And John had commented there before in the last hand about getting some roughs for those clubs. Yes, John, good point. You want me to open one spade or one no trump? No fair peeking at the north hand with 4 spades. Anybody have any thoughts on this hand?
Yes, John does. Let me get that up here for you.
Okay, or I can pop it. You got it?
I got it.
Okay, good job. And let's see, with 3 honors go to 1 spade. That's kind of what we talked about the other day, John. And I'm kind of inclined to agree. If it was queen, jack, 10, But with king, queen, jack, I think I'm going to do 1 spade.
Patty says 1 spade.
Okay, guys. Hey, we have, I don't want to be playing against you two anymore. That's for
Ooh,
sure.
and Amanda says 17 handicap with the extra spade, open 1 spade.
Yeah, with 17 high card points and that 5th spade, open 1 spade. But if it was, like I say, ace 5 times, I think most pros would say, nope, you don't want to open it 1 spade. You want to open it 1 no trump. It's a stopper if they're going to, my partner's got a doubleton or a singleton, whatever. But at any rate, that's just a philosophy. So, okay, so 1 spade. And over here by the next seat, they've got 4, 8, and another 5. So they don't have a suit to bid. If you were to make a takeout double for your hearts, your partner is always going to be bidding the wrong suit. Well, not this time, but most always. So don't get that thought in your mind. I hate people when they want to do a what's called an off-shaped double. And I keep saying, can you show me a bridge book that advocates, and they don't even talk about it. So don't make an off-shaped double. And if you do, you have to put it on your convention card because it's considered not normal. Okay, so 1 spade. And over in the north hand, Sandra, what are you going to do if I don't bid 1 no trump? If it turned out it was I bid 1 no trump, you'll do the 2 club thing. And when I say 2 spades, you're very happy. But this time I opened 1 spade. Do you want to pass or make a bid? Three clubs. Oh, look at this one. 3 clubs. And where does 3 clubs come from? Hope I don't pass. There is a Bergen raise, and a Bergen raise we'll get to that in just a second. I'm so glad you brought that up. So Bergen raise is as follows. And I'm going to put it over on the side here with about 6 to 9 or a bad 10, you bid 3 clubs. With 10 to bad 12, you'll bid 3 diamonds. So, okay, that takes care of those. And we know if you were to bid 2 no trump, that's some Jacoby 2 no trump, that's out. But then what after that? Well, if you have 5 spades and let's say 0 to 6 points, then you're just going to bid 4 spades. So, okay, we still got the 3 spade. And so with 0 to 5 with 4 spades, that's when you're going to bid 3 spades. It's preemptive. So it has to be alerted. But so no, we would not make 3 clubs. That would be kind of an invitational, but 4 trump, but 6 to 9. Partner, if you're at the high end, like 16 to 18 points. Basically, if you have a 6 loser hand, then I think you're 6 to 9, which only takes 2 tricks. You've got that 4 spades, so I think it's going to take 3 tricks. And so if I've got 6 losers, I accept. Grace.
Amanda has a question. I have that up on the screen now for us.
Okay, and her question is just that 3 spades. I've tried to put it here. It might be a little sloppy, so it says with, it's not the one I wanted. I want this one here.
Her question:
with 0 to 5 high card points, after your partner opens one of that major, if with you having 4 spades or 4 hearts, whichever it is, you bid three spades. Three spades says, or three of the major, I should say, which says, I want to make a preemptive bid. I want to make it difficult for them. Maybe I've only got 2 points, and I think that they're going to have a chance for a game in whatever suit, for hearts or whatever. So it's meant to be a preemptive bid. So I hope that clears that up. Good. I'm glad that one came up. Thank you, everybody. So anyway, that was one where John and Patty, you're saying you would open it with one spade, and I like the way you're thinking with that good 3 honors there. So hey, I think these are kind of falling in place this week. So I hope everyone's going to be a lethal opponent. So I'm not going to do any more for this one, but Amanda, I'm going to go to where you have more points, because I said, what about that time when it's not 0 to 4? Let's say it's 5 to 7. So at this point, we're going to switch gears and we're going to take a look at the next set of hands. With, here it is, 5 to 7. Should we be doing a garbage statement or not? Inquisitive minds must know. Oops, I did one mistake there. I need to bring them up again, because I always want to click down here at the bottom, and I should be instead doing the forward and advance. So, okay, so we'll go here to here, and we're in hand number 1. And as you can see, this time we have 3, 4, 5, 6 points. And yeah, it looks like with these honor combinations, we've got a fit in the heart suit. And so how would we do in diamonds? Well, we're not too worried about it, because we've got a 4-3. They've got 3-3, that 36% chance. I keep using these odds so you'll get more comfortable with them. 1 and 3 is close enough. So they're going to be 3-3, but 48, half the time they're 4-2. In clubs, I don't know if it was, say, one no trump passed out. Say you say, well, I've got enough points, I don't have to do a garbage statement this time. Would they lead a club? Well, if they did, it would be the jack of club, the top of the interior sequence, opposite a no trump contract. And then your partner, I guess, would do the 7 of clubs. But I suppose I could maybe duck one, but I might worry about them switching to another suit. I don't want them switching to diamonds. So I'd probably have to take the king. We can see we would then take 4 hearts. Would you take that first, Sandra? Is she still there? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I am far away. Let me get the mic up to you. My apologies. I was indeed. So after we take the king of clubs, if they did lead the club, they may not, but let's say they did. Would we then, what's your strategy? Would you take the 4 hearts? What would you do next? Sure, go ahead. I'm inquisitive minds. I must know too. Let's imagine that I had opened 1 no trump. Yes, I would. So we know you could do the garbage statement and we'd get a fit somewhere, or you could, just pass. We're just going to say, if you were going to say, I don't think I'll use the garbage statement, I've got 6 points. What do you want to do? You do 2, or you do a pass, let's say. And so the opening lead, let's say, was the jack of clubs, and it comes around to our king, and we win it. So I'm thinking what we would do would be, and I'll get to you in a second, Grace, the top 2 hearts, because I want to get to the dummy, and then I'll play the bottom 2 hearts to the king, queen. So far we've got 5 tricks. And now I'm going to do a spade, and if the king of spades is on side, then I'm going to get another 2 tricks. So it looks like we've got 7 tricks so far. At this point, I'll try the diamonds, but I might as well just concede the rest of them, but you never know. But it looks like we've made our 1 no trump contract, haven't we? Okay. So now we're going to take a look in the alternative, which would be you do a garbage statement. So it's 1 no trump and 2 clubs. And then I come back and, well, can't do diamonds. Oh, I have the heart suit. So I'm going to go 2 hearts. And you're going to say pass, right? You don't have enough to do invitational. You don't have 8 points or a really good 7 or whatever. So it's a pass. It's the garbage statement special. It's just come to our town. And now they aren't going to lead the unprotected aces over here in this hand. But I've got a double 10, and do I want to lead a trump. They've got a 4-4 fit, it looks like. I got to do one of the majors. So they say, I don't know, I'll do the 10 of spades and maybe I'll get lucky. But they should be thinking this. They should be thinking, well, it's a garbage statement. I don't know how many points are, but I can recognize it now. That's the animal in the shades of spot of that one. So it's 15 to 17 and on the south. We don't know it, but it's not 8 points. It's less than that. And we can say in our hand over in the west, we've got 2 aces is 8, 2 jacks is 10. So our partner ought to have like about a handful, maybe 7 to 9 points, maybe 10. I don't know. So yeah, I'll do a 10, thinking maybe I can get to my partner's spade suit. So the spade is led, the 10, the top of nothing, or doubleton in this case, and play low in the second seat. In the third seat, dutifully plays third hand high, but wait, it was a 10. And there's 4 in the dummy. Do I have entries in side suits? Do I just want to duck it for now? I know my partner doesn't have anything above that. I'm just going to go ahead and duck. And it goes to the south hand, and there's a queen. And okay, so at this point, we can see what our strategy is going to be, and so on and so forth. Now, Grace had a question. I want to get back to it.
Okay, John has several comments here. There's 4 of them if you want to go ahead and take a look up here.
Okay, so here's one. It says only 6 tricks and no trump. Sometimes, yeah. If you take 6 tricks and no trump, sometimes that will work, and you might do better. And that is the question. Not all hands are guaranteed the same. I just picked one at random, but that is a consideration. I'm just talking about whether it makes or not. Next was play hearts and hope they dump the clubs. Yes, right. Not likely, but it's hope rings eternal, and it might. Then finish with the spade king finesse. And lastly, he says, defense leads a heart to take away the roughing power. Yeah, I think that is probably true, isn't it? So all good points, John. Thank you for bringing that up. And I see it's already 45 minutes after the hour. Time flies when we're having fun. We could talk a couple hours on these, but I know that's probably plenty enough for you. So Sandra, are you still there? I thank you very much for being on the line with me today. Good job. Okay, and to everybody else out there, I don't know what we have coming up in store for tomorrow, but I kind of like this as having, if we have sort of a theme of the week and have some of these random hands where we can go ahead and, talk shop, the chalk talk, and then we can actually go to the table and kind of take a look and see how do some of these hands work, and to kind of get a feel of that. So in closing, I'll just let some more hands kind of go by here, and you can kind of see what's going on. There's a nice one there with King 10 fourth in one major and King Jack fourth in the other. And yeah, that would be a nice one. So if you wanted my opinion, when it gets to the 5 through 7 points, do you open one no trump or do you just pass? The answer is just like I started off. The environmental factors, if you remember that and don't forget it, good on you, because what that means is that if you've got quackers, secondary honors, remember the first of the 10 rules? Just go to BridgeHands and search for environmental factors. But the first one says, are they primary or secondary honors? How do you value it? Are they working honors? And if you see working honors and primary honors, that is the time to say, I think we belong in a suit contract. Grace, yes.
And we have David.
Okay, David says 4-4-3-2 with 0 to 4 points. Your partner will probably have 5 in that suit. So no, I will never do it with a singleton. I've seen some good players do it, and sometimes it works. I don't think it works 50% of the time. If you feel kind of sporty and you think, oh, this is such a great thing. I have 4-4 in the majors, and I'm just hoping my partner doesn't have 5 diamonds. And you have maybe 3, so it's a 4-3 moissy fit. And you go, oh, well, partner, it didn't work this time. I'm sorry. So that's just my style, but I have seen some players that think that it works. It will work some of the time. I don't know if it's 30% or 40. I'm not sure. But good question. But I always like to say 0, best yet, or a singleton in the club suit. Okay, with that as it is, I think we're going to call it a day. So Grace, come on over. Oh, look at this. She's dressy today.
I'm not dressy.
No, you are. What's with this? What's your wardrobe?
Old lady shawl and I'm cold.
I thought it was 78 degrees outside or something.
Cold.
Well, thanks for doing a good job on the control. And it's so nice. I can see the comments pop up on YouTube and Facebook. And So everything seemed to be working a little smoother today, just a couple little things.
Yeah.
I was hoping I could get, rather than to have a voice come over the telephone and then try to have it go through a speaker to a microphone like this. It's not as good, but apparently I've still got an echo to work out. So
If you
fingers
guys,
crossed, pray for me.
if you guys got to see everything he has going, that's right. I don't know how many buttons there are here, but if I was Dennis a Menace, he'd be in trouble because I'd
That's
be
right.
going.
The Grace is saying that right behind us up here, I should have like a GoPro camera where we can see everything that's going on. So that's one of the toys, just so you get an appreciation. But okay, if you didn't catch it all, if you want to see some more of it, you can certainly do a replay. All of these go up on Facebook and YouTube. So good. And so yesterday, when it never went up on YouTube, I took the one on Facebook, downloaded it, retransmitted up, so you can even see yesterday's on YouTube. So they will be up there, and I think in perpetuity. But through April, we're looking to continue this on for once a month. I thank you all for being there because we're getting a lot of interest now. So thank you for your comments.
Thank you, you guys, Amanda and Patty and John and Larry. And I miss Nancy. Remember her from Romper Room? Anyway, maybe you're not that old. I don't know. So, and Sandra, are you still with us? I think she's not there. Oh, we miss you, Patty, and your wonderful voice. I think it's about that time.
I like Larry's festival.
Oh,
thanks for the garbage.
Ed, no, Ed, the scarf is not for COVID-19. No, no, no. I'm isolated.
Where's that? I don't see it. Oh, there. Oh, it just came in.
Yeah, I don't go anywhere.
We don't rub noses, though. That is true.
I'm a hostage. Anyway,
Andrew Weil, I guess Andrew Weil, is it like when this first happened, and hi Sandra, and so what happened was he came up with about 6 or 7 things to bolster your immune system. So we are pill poppers now, and astragalus or rashiki root, all these things is who knows what they do.
Vitamin
If they're
C,
good enough for the
C.
Chinese, they're good enough for us,
Right.
right? So at any rate, I think that ends the show today. So thank you all for coming very much, and as always, happy trails to you until we meet again.
Bye-bye.
Peace out. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Sandra. Happy trails to you until